What's going on, guys? Boy Joe 672 coming to you guys with a video right now. So another day of training camp. I gotta say, some of these beat writers are at training camp they really take everything that Carson Wentz does, they make a big deal out of. Okay, so Carson Wentz had about 45 reps, the most reps he's had in the training camp. Okay, he was 7 for 18 in the red zone. Okay, he got 2 interceptions. He was picked off twice. I think one. He was picked off twice and 7 for 18 in the red zone. Threw some high balls, 2 low balls. You know what I mean? So, it is what it is. He's going to get criticized, but you know what? I want the defense to make plays. What is this? It's the Carson Wentz show every day that we have to do this every time? No, I want the defense to fight the fuck back. I want the defense to fight back and show what they fucking got. If Carson Wentz is just throwing balls on everybody and it's every day and no one's making plays, then I'd be having a big problem with that. But defensive guys are making plays. So if there's a corner that's playing better, good. If there's a corner that picked off Carson Wentz, good. Do I have a problem with that? No. No problem with that at all. Make plays on Carson Wentz. Make him fix his mistakes. I want him sitting back there so damn comfortable. But, 7 for 18 in the red zone, is that good? No. But it depends what the hell they're throwing at him, what they're doing. You know what I mean? So it's not a game. You know what I mean? It's just him working on his mechanics in the red zone. It's not a game, but it's game mentality, whatever it is. But Carson Wentz had an up and down day, which is fine. No quarterback is perfect. And I want the defense to make plays, so I am not complaining whatsoever. So Miles Sanders went into the medical tent today. He actually had like a little ankle foot injury. Doug Pearson already talked about it. Relax. Doug Pearson already talked about it at his press conference today after practice and pretty much said that Miles Sanders is fine. There's nothing wrong with Miles Sanders. He just had a little bit of a, it could have been a twisted ankle. It could have been something. He says he'll be back. There's no big deal about anything that's going on with that. So Miles Sanders scored a touchdown today. He's been doing really good. And then after practice, after he got out of the medical tent and after practice, he was on the jugs machine after practice, working on catching those footballs, because I know for a fact that this year Miles Sanders is going to be used in, catching out of the backfield and going out for wheel routes and going out for passes as like another wide receiver on the team. And I can't complain about that at all because, in a Doug Pearson offense, every running back pretty much has to do everything. No matter if you're heavier, if you're lighter, doesn't matter what you are. They already have Jordan Howard, which I'm glad because I know Jordan Howard could catch out of the backfield, which the Bears really didn't use him to his full advantage. I think the first 2 years he had trouble catching out of the backfield, and then the Bears, after bringing Tariq Cohen, he really just became the finisher of games. Tariq Cohen was making the passes, he was catching everything, he was running all over the field, going around the offensive line, and then, Jordan Howard came in to finish games, tire out defenses with his bruiser back weight, and go up the middle and do all that stuff like that. So I'm very happy with Miles Sanders, what he's done so far. I think, Doug Pearson already mentioned today that Doug Pearson said for a guy that missed a lot of time, he's in really good shape. Really, really good shape. And you can tell Miles Sanders wants it and he's hungry and he's not going to let this get away from him. So I'm very happy to see Miles Sanders just working his ass off to get back from all the missed time, and he's already doing good now, so I can't wait till he hits somebody in another jersey. Other than the news of Mack Hollins, by Doug Pearson, Mack Hollins will be back in a few days. Apparently, he'll be back to full in a few days. So good to hear that. But there's another name in the red zone that you have to hear is Carlton Agudosi. And he's 6'6". They used him in the red zone. I think he caught 2 touchdowns in the red zone today. And Agudosi has been mentioned by Doug Pearson today, has been making a huge push. And for a guy that's 6'6", I think he's taller than J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, the second-round pick we drafted this year. I think J.J.'s only 6'4", 6'3". I forgot but this guy's 6'6", okay, with long arms, okay. Not the fastest guy. He doesn't have J.J. Arcega's, explosive speed, but the guy is an okay route runner, especially if you put him in red zone, and he caught 2 red zone touchdown passes today, easily. And he's been fighting, and Agudosi has been fighting. He's going to be fighting for a spot to be in one of those backup roles for the Philadelphia Eagles. We have so many weapons for red zone, it's ridiculous, okay? Not even for red zone, but for short completions. You name it, you have the size, you have the speed, you have everything. And Carson Wentz, you have the running backs, you have everything on the field for Carson Wentz this year. And Carlton Agudosi is going to, I want him to do some really good things. We see some receivers come in and out of camp and not make this team, and we never see them again. Okay, there's guys that have left this team, like DeAndre Carter, Julius Randle. Guys that we've had that really were productive in preseason never really made the team because either bad coaching decisions or, they just don't ever get to play when they're here, okay? But Agudosi is doing very well, so keep your eye on Agudosi. I think he's number 14. He has Mike Wallace's number from last year. So look out for Carlton Agudosi. So more good news today in the injury department is that Corey Clement is coming back in a week. He did 7-on-7 individual drills today. He will be back. He said hopefully he will be back in a week. He's feeling much better. So we will have Corey Clement back in the lineup, in the rotation. And very excited to see Corey Clement do his thing because I've been very, very high on him. And he's done an absolutely fantastic job since stepping on the field. And like I said probably videos ago, that if Darren Sproles didn't get hurt in week 3 of the opener in 2017, we probably wouldn't have seen what Corey Clement can do. Went to Wisconsin. They're not a pass out of the backfield type team. Corey Clement proved everybody wrong. He can catch. He can pretty much do everything he wanted to do. I mean, he had, 4 or 5 touchdowns against the Broncos. Well, yeah, 4 running touchdowns against the Broncos in 17. He did a really good job. And he showed even during that week 5 or week 6 against the Redskins on Thursday, Monday night, whatever that game was, I think it was week 5 in 17, that he could catch the ball in the end zone. He could be a wide receiver. Another Doug-esque type running back. And Corey Clement is back in the week. Very happy that he will be back. Carson Wentz threw a touchdown pass to Darren Sproles in the end zone today. Darren Sproles came right in and spiked the ball in the end zone, the whole right in front of the whole entire defense. I can see that, Darren Sproles, as he's in the passing game. Like I said, I don't know what they're going to do with all these running backs. They're keeping 4, they're keeping 5. But I'm glad that Sproles is back. But the other hand, I want other guys to get chances. I want guys like DeAndre Tompkins to do, to kind of work in the special teams. Boston Scott to work in the special teams. And maybe be that reserve on the shelf running back in case somebody gets injured. You can have Boston Scott as that reserve guy on the shelf. So it's good that Darren Sproles is getting the work in with this offense, so I can't really complain about that at all. But glad he's back, glad he's doing things, and he's healthy. So that's the number one thing about Darren Sproles. It's a good thing. So Darren Sproles is very healthy. So the deep threat Deshaun Jackson was in full pads today, but did not practice. Doug Pearson was already asked this question about Deshaun Jackson, pretty much said that Deshaun is just taking a rest day today. I know the vets they had some vets take some days off yesterday, some rest yesterday, like Jason Peters, Jason Kelsey. Deshaun Jackson took a little bit of break today, which he deserves. He's been working this defense like crazy. And working his tail off, okay? But you want to put some Deshaun Jackson bubble wrap on Deshaun Jackson and, put him to the shelf until the regular season. I just want them to be very cautious and careful with Deshaun Jackson. He doesn't even need to practice. He just needs to I think he needs to practice just enough to have the chemistry and do whatever the stuff that he's been doing with Carson Wentz after practice and being real close to everybody. But at this point in time, right now, let him just work whatever he's got to do and let him rest those legs of his and just get healthy. And he's not hurt or anything, but I'm just glad that Doug's being very cautious. I'm glad that Doug is not working everybody too hard, which is a good thing as well. Carson Wentz throws a deep ball to Nelson Aguilar all the way downfield on the money. Nelson Aguilar it was right in his hands. It literally just missed his hands. It went right through his hands, like just bad eye contact with the football. Nelson Aguilar came right through his hands. Incomplete pass. Sidney Jones was actually on him. So it made Sidney Jones look good, but it was on the money pass to Nelson Aguilar, so I wouldn't even worry about that too much. But people are going to blow it out of proportion, bad pass, too high of a pass. Let me tell you something. A receiver needs to be a receiver, okay? No receiver, a receiver's not there just to catch passes from here to here to here to here, okay? You gotta be, this is why receivers get paid. This is why Michael Thomas got paid $100 million, because he can catch any damn pass that's near him, okay? This is why Odell Beckham gets paid big money. This is why these guys get paid big money, because they can get passes outside of their catch fit radius, okay? This is why they're athletic. This is why they get paid the big bucks, okay? So, you know what? If Carson Wentz can only throw a certain pass, if it's got to be high, it's going to be high. It's going to be low, it's going to be low. If the receiver drops it, the receiver drops it. And let me tell you something. In 2016, we had the worst receiver core in the NFL, and we all know this. And Nelson Aguilar was one of those guys. But it's a whole different time in Philadelphia now. He's landing these deep balls on the money, and that's the most important thing because, honestly, to this point, I didn't think when Carson came out in 2016, even in 2017, I didn't think his deep ball was that good. He had the one to Matt Collins in the Redskins game, but he was covered by, I forgot his damn name. He's not even on that team anymore. He's on the Arizona Cardinals. They had a safety on him. They were missing, their best corners. You know what I mean? So, he's got to practice this deep ball, okay? And I think with Deshaun Jackson, it's going to come very natural because he's going to throw it like 70 yards deep like it's nothing, okay? But we have the offensive line to give him time, and he should have the time to throw these really big balls downfield, and these deep balls are going to go right to the end zone, and you have Deshaun Jackson. You have our J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. You have all these guys that can catch balls, but not go off topic, but the deep accuracy, I don't care who misses it, like Nelson Aguilar, it went right through his hands. Who cares? As long as he puts that football right on his body, right where his hands are, it doesn't even matter at this point. So very happy with Carson Wentz and his accuracy with these deep balls. I think that's where his game is going to be better this year, where he can extend plays and throw those deep passes with that strong arm of his. So very happy with that. Finally, in the red zone today, another play by cornerback Sidney Jones. Another pick in the red zone with Carson Wentz throwing the ball, misses target, and Sidney Jones takes the ball. Dude, if the hype is real, the hype is real. The hype is real for Josh Sweat. The hype is I'm just talking about the young guys. The hype is real for Josh Sweat. The hype is real for Sidney Jones. I mean, you know what? Last year, I thought Devontae Bosby, was the hype because he was making plays, and then when he finally played, oh my God, it was so bad. He had to sign with the AAF, and then he became one of the best cornerbacks in the AAF. And then came back, and I think he's with the Chiefs now as a backup. But other than that, guys, Sidney Jones has been pushing, man. I really need this to pay off. I really, really need Sidney Jones to pay off. I really do, because, you got him in the second round. He came off an Achilles injury. He was a top 10 pick in the draft, and he should be playing outside corner. That's what he should be playing, okay? This is really important. It really is. And you know what? All these corners are having strong days, okay? I didn't hear much news from Rasul Douglas today, but I heard that Rasul's had a really nothing bad about these corners today. Everybody fought today. Everybody did. Now, some guys aren't just going to make plays every day. It happens. Sometimes they're just covering guys. A quarterback doesn't want to take a shot at the receiver, and they're covering good. Rasul Douglas has been covering good. Just because you don't hear about Rasul, I haven't heard about Rasul Douglas in 2 days, it means he's been playing like crap. No, it doesn't mean anything. It means that he hasn't made any plays. It doesn't mean that he's on the bench. It doesn't mean that maybe they're playing nickel, maybe they're playing base, maybe they're moving. But Rasul's been sitting at outside corner, even when they're nickel and base. So it doesn't really matter. But you know what? This whole defense needs to work as a unit. That's the only way we're going to be successful with this defense. Defense starts with defensive line, get the pressure, and then the corners have to block for, get the coverage for a certain amount of time and have this defense help them out a little bit. The defensive line helps them out a little bit, okay? But I'm very happy with what we have. We have the youngest cornerback position in the whole entire league. The youngest guys in the league, and the lowest cap hit in the whole league. It's $8 million. What is it? 8-point-something million. So at this point, guys, I'm happy. Sidney Jones needs to work out. He really does, because if he works out, oh my God, man, I will be so happy. And we don't have to. One side of the field will be covered. And you know what? It's exciting, like literally perfect year. You're gonna have some compensatory picks for the 2020 draft. You got Carson Wentz that just got paid. You can't pull a Jets move. You can't wipe out your whole team, get $100 million, and spend it all on all these big contracts. That's not how you build a team. It's how you build something that you want to run for the year or 2 years. That's not how you build a fucking football team, regardless. Because I'm around Jet fans all the time. I know a lot of Jet fans, and just all they talk about is our team. The hype is real. The hype is real is right, but it's not that easy as you think to get to a goddamn Super Bowl. Okay, you need to develop young players. You get undrafted players that come here that are successful. You got a good team going. You can't just sign 53 guaranteed there, 60 guaranteed there, 97 guaranteed there. You can't be doing that. But you know what? This team is building from within, and we need to find these young guys by this year. We need to see who is going to be on the top of the keychain this year. Because by next year, a lot of guys are coming off their third years, going into their final years of their rookie deals. You got guys like Wendell Small, guys like Rasul You know what I mean? You have guys like Sidney Jones. You know what I mean? I mean, Sidney Jones isn't his last year of his contract, but I'm just saying, like, down the road, you know what I mean? So guys need to step their shit up this year. We need to see what these guys are about. They've been in the system together. They've been there long enough. So I'm very happy with this group. I really am. So other than that, guys, that's really it. So a pretty good heavy day for Carson Wentz. And, we had some different targets, some different guys making plays, and that's good. A lot of guys are showing up. A lot of guys are really showing up. Carlton Agudosi is number 1 on my list right now. I want to see, I haven't heard much from TJ Edwards, the undrafted running back. Linebacker. I haven't heard from these other guys as well. But other than that, it's been a good day. They need to get their rest tomorrow. So there is no training camp tomorrow. There'll be training camp on Saturday. I will keep you guys updated as usual. By Saturday, I will have a video out. Tomorrow is going to be a rest day. So other than that, guys, I will see you guys later. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. I'll be coming out with more news of all training camp and what's going on. And then preseason is right around the corner, guys. Right around the corner, and we are there to go. So I will see you guys later. Shake Squad up. Fly, Owls fly.